So far, right now, we all know that our world was rooted in fear and has been teaching us things and what we know today through the essence of fear. And because we are taught how to be a particular way, we're all vibrating at a frequency that's a detriment to our individual lives. When we are told to fear, to worry, to chase, to try hard, to prove yourself, it's like we end up forming an identity around those opinions outside of us, and we become a product in our environment. And when that happens, all of a sudden we lose ourselves, we don't know ourselves, we don't even know what we want. And when we do know what we want, we feel a sense of fear behind it. But what if I told you anything that has to do with fear is just showing us how we feel unsafe to receive or to be? So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the reason why you feel so unsafe in life and how you can understand why you feel this way and be able to transmute that energy to understand that there's no such thing as feeling unsafe. There is a such thing as believing that you are not safe. Gooch, beautiful beings. Welcome back, Awakened Ones, on another episode on Embracing Essential Series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, I'm so glad to have you here. If you balance, join me, spark, gang, only love, you know who you is. On this channel, I am energetic activator who assists you to awaken things you have yet to see with your emotional awareness to go upon your spiritual evolution. Now, beautiful beings, if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy this video, you know exactly where that like button is, and you know where that subscribe and notification button is. But I'm not going to ask you guys or hold your time any longer, because I want to dive right into why is it that you feel unsafe in life. Now, when I do my videos, I do it out of a sense of inspiration. I never force myself to do these videos. And, you know, when I am alone, I'm always processing, what is it can I learn? What is it that I need to be curious about? What can I question about myself, about my life, and about life in general? And that's where it came down to, holy crap. I realized that my life has been going pretty swiftly, better than I've ever experienced in my life before. And recently, since things have been pretty much going my way, better than I can expect, I started to feel a subtle uneasiness, like that feeling perceived as if things are going good. I'm a little suspicious. You get a little suspicious because you think something may be lurking around the corner to make you go back into the belief that no good things last that long. I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it, because in the process of really, being aware of this and having compassion for myself about it, I started thinking, like, am I scared to succeed? Am I fearful of my own power? Do I think I'm not worthy? And I realized, and I even went a little deeper, does it have anything to do with my past trauma? And then I sat there and I just had to really be honest with myself and say, you know what? I know I'm not the only one who feels this way when you are receiving good things, that things are going good, but you think something bad is about to happen around the corner to prove to you that maybe that curse in your family is real, to prove to you that I'm only deserving of bad things, to prove to you that, oh damn, I was right. Things can never last that long for me, anything good. When I know I'm not the only one who thinks this way, but I started to realize, all right, if I'm not the only one who thinks this way, then why do I think this way? And if I can figure it out for myself, maybe I could share it with you guys. And that's when it dawned on me, when I felt inspired to do this video. And before I had the inspiration to do this video, that's when it dawned on me that it's not that we are fearful of receiving. We're fearful of our success. We're fearful of our power. We're fearful of being happy. It's the fact that the underlying thing behind that fear is really unsafety. You feel unsafe to receive. You feel unsafe to have what you want. You feel unsafe to tell yourself you're worthy of what you want. And that's when it was just a switch flipped on. And that's when I was like, no, now that I realize I feel unsafe, and then not only that, realizing the fact that if you look at our chakra system, the root chakra is rooted in fear, but it's also rooted in feeling unsafe. And that's when I'm like, I feel like a lot of us right now, since I'm going through this and feeling this, I know I'm not the only one who is currently going through this, because I know there is people who are on the same wavelength. There is a such thing as meeting people who are just like you. Please understand that. And I know the fact that right now a lot of us are being called to feel a sense of safety and to cultivate it within ourselves. So the reason why you feel unsafe in your life is because of those things. Is because you have a little bit of shame behind saying that you deserve more. You don't want to disappoint people or outshine people. You don't want to feel safe around your success or your evolution or happiness because you never experienced it. It's all unfamiliar. That's all it is. And I want to share with you guys too, we can no longer blame our childhood for why we are the way that we are as adults. You know, I'm 30, and throughout my entire 20s, I went through such an evolutionary process of growth, a lot of inner deaths, a lot of rebirths. I've been on the spiritual journey for quite some time. But I recently started realizing, now that I'm 30, I'm like, I can't no longer blame the world, but I can't no longer rely on receiving assistance and not having courage and my own willpower to assist myself in changing how I see and how I think. So, you know, understand you can no longer blame your childhood. It ends up coming down to the fact that you just have a belief you're hanging on to and you don't know it. And that's perpetuating this disappointment or this pain or the fact that you think you can't change in order to be happy. That's really all it is. It's the same thing where you think you're stuck. You're not really stuck. It's the belief that's making you think that you're stuck. That's why you're not able to move. So really, we can no longer blame our childhood. It is important to go within and actually do some introspection on your past. But once you do that, once you got a hang of it, once you have compassion for yourself anytime, you know, they resurface those emotions and those past thoughts, since you already know how to do that, and if you do already know how to do that, now is the time to set a declaration of intention, and that is to have courage to trust that you can change how you perceive life, how you perceive happiness, how you perceive abundance, how you perceive good things, how you perceive if it feels safe to be in the universe. It's so, you don't understand that the universe is only reflecting what you feel. So if you start cultivating the fact that anywhere you are, in any given moment, no matter if it brings a sense of uncomfortable emotions within you, you can tell yourself, I could feel ease even in the sense of chaos or tension. And then when you learn how to start cultivating that ease and that peace, it becomes much more easier to start realizing I really can create the life that I want. I really can actually, my beliefs can have power when I have conviction in them, and they could really transform my life. And in the midst of me realizing why I felt so unsafe in life, not because of my childhood and what I was taught and what I allowed myself to become of a product of my environment, but it's because of the belief that I have I didn't feel unsafe. So I started realizing, you know, anxiety comes from wanting to control the future or the past, and this is why you can't be present. That's why it feels so unsafe to be in your body in the moment of anxiety or a panic attack. As I've already overcame a lot of these things and started realizing why I felt unsafe, I started to shift my beliefs slowly but surely and started to realize the universe is safe. I am safe. There's too much evidence that's happened in my life for me to not perceive that I am safe, taken care of, looked after, and actually am being given. Like, it's like my ancestors in the universe want me to have what I want to. So it's like now swiftly changing my beliefs towards that understanding, towards, telling myself that, going into a rampage of telling myself that. I started to realize we are the ones who create the unsafety. We're the ones who create the instability. We're the ones who create the tension in our lives that are causing us to feel unsafe. So now that you understand why you feel unsafe in your life, I want you to go in depth into your own psyche and ask yourself, is it the fact that I feel unsafe that is true? Or is it the fact that I have this belief because it's making other people and the life outside of me feel more safe than me? So really, am I creating an identity to make the world feel safe and abandoning myself? Or is it the fact, second option, I feel unsafe because I generally just haven't accepted that I just feel unsafe? So those are two questions you should go within and really ask yourself and ponder, because literally majority of us are doing things for the sake of keeping the peace, and it's a detriment to not only our health but to our own happiness. And when you realize, am I doing this to make other people feel safe, or am I doing this because I haven't accepted the fact that I don't trust myself, are two things we really have to reflect on. And now that you understand why you feel unsafe, and now that you understand what you need to ponder on and work on regarding those two questions, now the conclusion of all of why I'm sharing this with you is because our whole existence, it's not about just existing. It's not about going with the flow and following the world and becoming one with the world. It's really about the fact that when we come onto this planet, we come with nothing. When we leave with nothing but what's in our hearts. The conclusion of everything I'm sharing with you is that you should seek and cultivate a way to start feeling emotionally safe, because at the end of the day, this is your individual life that only you have control of, only you can be the hero of, only you can actually say and do what is recommended for you. Only you can find your own authenticity and lane in this entire existence. But because that is our job and our only job that we should be focusing on, we should be able and give ourselves permission to just focus on how can I make myself happy in this existence, because our whole existence is about discovery of who we are, going through the ebbs and flows and finding the balance of our authenticity and expressing that to the world so we can create a ripple effect in the world with our trueness, with our own individuality, to the point that we feel safe in the world because we feel safe to be our true self. That's really all it is. So beautiful beings, that's all I wanted to share with you today, is why is it you feel unsafe in the world? What you need to ponder in order to start cultivating feeling safe, and the reason why you should work on this and only aim for this, because your entire existence revolves around you not only being the best version of you and not only coming here to do what you're meant to do, but also the fact that if you are here, why not do anything you can to make yourself happy? Of course, in the most healthiest way, because we do make ourselves happy through our voids and through our traumas, but we're trying to transmute that energy and do it in a more healthy dynamic where we're prioritizing our spiritual health and as well as our physical health. So the conclusion is just for you to make this existence worth living, and learning how to be proud of your existence, learning how to just be grateful for who you are. And then when you can learn to be grateful for who you are and feel safe in who you are, then it's going to become so easy to create a perception that the world is safe, that I am safe. Even if you know you're not going to live forever, you still know that you're safe. So beautiful beings, that's all I wanted to share with you today. If you found this video informative or it brought an activation within you, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you won't miss out any other videos that I make in the near future. And other than that, if you want to know anything more about me, you can go to the link in the description and you can check out all my social media links as well as the services I render. Until then, beautiful beings, I'll see you on the next one, and I'm your love.